Welcome to Zero to Host It. My name is Royce, and if you made it to this little corner of YouTube, welcome. The purpose of this channel is to document my journey into creating my own home lab and self-hosting. I've always had a mind geared to being self-sustaining and wanting to not rely on others for things, whether that be through growing food or managing finances the right way, or even being able and willing to teach my kids the right things. So for me, the next logical step is doing this with my digital life. And my hope is that by creating a home lab and self-hosting things, that I'll be able to do that. So this channel will be my journey of how I get to that point of being able self-sustaining in my digital life. I'll be sharing the videos, the websites, the resources that I find helpful in this journey. And it's really for people who have no idea how to do this, because that's who I am. There are a lot of channels out there that have a lot of really good information, but I often get lost in the first 60 seconds of the video because they've said an acronym or a word or something that I don't understand yet. So my hope is that this channel can be for people just like me who are trying to learn, and maybe they don't come from that technical background, but want to figure out how to do this because they also want to have a digital life that is self-sustaining. We're going to be talking and explaining the very basics. Everything I say won't be right. I can guarantee you that, but it will be what I know. And as I learn more, I'll make sure to come back and update you on what I've learned, what I'm doing next, and why I'm doing those things. So yeah, I hope you'll come along on the journey with me. As I said, this is for the basics. So starting with the basics, I want to define a couple things. First, what is a home lab? A home lab, to me, is a collection of hardware, whether it be tangible or virtual, that it empowers a user to host services themselves. A home lab can be an old computer, a designated mini PC, a custom built PC, Raspberry Pi, any of those things, as long as they're empowering people to host services locally. And by locally, I mean without relying on the cloud. That doesn't mean that you can only access them in your home, but that you don't rely on other services in order for you to provide the service. Next up, self-hosting. That is the act of deploying, managing, and maintaining services in local environments instead of using cloud-based services. From what I've seen, many of the services that you'd want to self-host are also open source. This means that the code that makes up the software is available for anyone to inspect, to modify, and enhance. If you're like me, you're probably not going to be reading the code, but knowing that many people much smarter than me have been able to do so and have had the opportunity to review and scrutinize the work provides me with more confidence that not only these services actually work, but that I can trust them. Some of the things that I'm looking to self-host include a photo library, media, note-taking apps, calendars and to-do lists, and file storage. But just like anything, there are a lot of options out there. So I'm going to go through the options that interest me, and I'll come back here and tell you all about them, what I like, what I don't like, what I end up using. So next, I want to find what hardware I can use to get started. Check out the next video where I talk about some of the different options that I found and some of the considerations that I'm thinking about as I'm looking for these different things and where I land to start my journey. All right, see you there.